All right, guys, this is going to be the last video for the Unit 6 test review, and we're going to be looking strictly at compound interest. So I know my compound interest formula is my amount is equal to my principal multiplied by 1 plus my rate divided by my interval, or the number of times it's compounded yearly, raised to the power of my number of times it's compounded yearly, to the time in years. So if I deposit, typo, $10,000 into an account paying 9% annual interest compounded monthly, how much money is going to be in the account after 6 years? My principal here is the $10,000. That's what I'm starting with. My rate here is 9%, which is equivalent to 0.09 as a decimal. Then it says it's compounded monthly. There's 12 months in a year, so my end value is going to be 12. And then I want to know how much is in the account after 6 years, so my t value is going to be 6. I now can plug everything into my calculator. So I've got my principal at 10,000, so I'm substituting these values into the original equation. Then 1 plus my rate of 0.09 divided by the number of times it compounds per year, which is 12. And I'm going to raise this to the power of 12 multiplied by the 6 years. So in my calculator, I've got 10,000, open parentheses, 1 plus that n over d button, so that's the fraction button. My numerator is 0.09, my denominator is 12. I'm going to get out of the fraction and close my parentheses, and I'm raising this to the power of 12 times 6. So after the 6 years, my account is going to have an amount of $17,125.53. It did say 0.527. We're dealing with money, so we're going to round to 2 decimal places. Number 11 says I've got an initial amount of $13,000, so that's my principal. Excuse me, $1,300. Is compounding at a rate of 5%, which is going to be 0.05 if I convert that to a decimal. Then it says compounded semi-annually, so that means it's going to go twice a year. So my end value is going to be 2. And I'm looking over an interval of 4 years, so my time is going to be a 4-year time. So I have A is equal to that initial value of $1,300 multiplied by 1 plus my rate, which is 0.05, divided by 2, which is telling me how many times it's compounded per year, multiplied by 2 times the amount of years, which in this case, we're looking at a 4-year interval. So in my calculator, I've got 1,300 multiplied by 1 plus my fraction of 0.05 divided by 2, closing those parentheses, raised to the power of 2 times 4. So that means after the 4 years, we're going to have $1,583. And it says 0.9237, so I'm going to round this to the 92 cents. Not bad. So that means that we gained $283.92 just by leaving it into that account for 4 years. And the last one, we saved this one for last because it's going to give you a big number because we're dealing with population. So the population of the United States of America has an average growth rate of 0.91%. If the population was about 303,146,000 people in 2008, we want to predict the population in 2021. Well, I know that my rate is 0.91, but I need to convert that percent to a decimal. Even though it's already written as a decimal, it's now going to be 0.0091 in decimal form though. My initial value is the 303,146,000 people. And this is a growth, so I'm going to do 1 plus my rate. Now, I'm not compounding this amount any. This is just a simple growth problem. So I've got to add my rate of 0.0091, close parentheses. But now my time, I started in the year 2021. or excuse me, I started in the year 2008, and I want to look at my population in the year 2021. So that means that's going to be 13 years that have passed. In my calculator, I've got 303,146,000. I'm going to multiply that by 1 plus 0.0091 raised to the 13th power. So therefore, the approximate population, and remember, we can't have parts of human beings. So we've got, let's see here. I think that's going to be 3,410,000,000. No, Miss Adams is off by a factor. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to write out the big number first because Miss Adams is better just by writing the big number. There we go. So that's 341,033,092 people because I had 341,033,091.8 in my calculator. Because of that 0.8, I'm going to round up. So therefore, the approximate population of the U.S. in 2021 is the 341 million people. All right, guys, you are now prepared for this test.